Okay, I'm going to show you the level of power a single woman has in her society. This man, the Japanese man Yukta, he's going to talk about how these hot springs end up making a campaign using cute anime girls. And everyone was happy with it until one woman spoke up.
Hey guys, it's Yuta. So, you might think this anime is totally innocent. It's called Onsen Musume, which means hot spring girls. It's part of promotional project for Japanese hot springs, or onsen. Each onsen area has its own character, who is a local goddess, and each character has its own personality based on the region, and it's backed by the government. Because of this campaign, many people visited onsen and everybody was happy. Until they
That's right. These people wanted tourists to come, and so they appealed to young men with money, with anime girls, and it worked. And it had the stamp of approval of their government. Right.
words. Things change when Nito Yumeno, who manages a shelter for young girls, found this out. She tweeted, "I saw a cardboard cutout for Onsen Musume on my business trip and thought, why do they have such a thing? So I researched about it and it was horrible." She criticized the characters' profiles that were based on local tales. This one likes lifting up cute girls' skirts. This girl fantasizes about random men coming to her bed at night. And
That this is her issue here, is that they appeal to men. That's what ticked her off. She looked at that and saying, look, some guys being happy, and her being a feminist, she hates men. She doesn't want men to be happy. That includes you, Utah. She feels the same way about you.
this one likes drinking, even though she looks very young. Nito said those things were sexist and sexual exploitation.
Now, we all know you can't sexually exploit a fictional character. She's going to succeed at getting things done, though. And you'll notice, you guys, that if you go gaga for these fictional characters, someone will always come up to you and say, it's just a picture, bra. But notice it works for people who say, oh, all of a sudden, if a guy's getting off on it or getting something out of it, now it's exploitation to the fictional.
Her tweet blew up, attracting tens of thousands of responses that were very mixed. It makes me angry and nauseous. With a little bit of searching, you can find a lot of photos and articles where local people, elderlies, and women welcome it.
Yeah, actually, they weren't really mixed, were they? You're either for or you're against it. And as this person pointed out, that this campaign was started in mass with lots and lots of people involved, by the elderly and women included. They knew what appealed to men, and so they gave what men wanted, and it worked. So what's more likely, that all the people in all these communities, including the Japanese government, are morally bankrupt, or that the feminists just hate men and that they're starting to block this? I mean, what's more likely to be true? You know what the answer is.
Because of this, the official website quickly changed the profiles, removing the sexual parts that Nito criticized.
She didn't really criticize it. She just turned around, said, men are enjoying something, stop it. And see, this one woman opened her mouth, and all these people stopped a campaign that worked for them. So entire communities are willing to lose money just to please some do nothing, nobody female.
But things didn't stop here, as anime and feminism tend to attract a lot of extreme
Oh,
opinions.
this is really pisses me off. This guy Yuda. There are no in betweens, Yuda. The opinions are going to be extreme. It either is for or against. What are you for? Are you against men being advertised with sexy anime girls? Are you against that or for it? Typical YouTuber, he's afraid for his channel, and He doesn't want to get it in trouble. So he's going to pretend there's a fence for him to straddle. There isn't.
With the feminist side, a lot of people attacked Onsen that supported the project, making nuisance phone calls and leaving negative reviews. With the otaku side, some people harassed Nito, sending her packages.
Why is
she
he
didn't
calling
order.
these guys otaku? When they sent these packages, did they say from an otaku? He may as well just call them incels. So anyone who shows any kind of self-respect and says bug off girl, he calls them otaku. So all those people that you showed earlier that said, you know, the women, the elderly and such that back this, are they otaku as well? So he's going to pretend he's not like that. You're basically for feminist if you're not for this. But also notice the otakus do the lame things. They do this edgelords thing where they just shove it in her face personally. Meanwhile, the feminists, they go after the entire communities. They organize and get things done.
But those are just a few extreme people. Most people, I believe, have more nuanced opinions, such as...
Before he says it, I hate that word nuance now, because there is no nuanced opinion. Again, you're either for this or you're against it. There's no in between.
This incident blew up because of the weird characterization, such as I want men to come to my bed, or middle school girl who drinks wine. So people...
Before he goes on, this is from the feminist, but the point is, it's a weird characterization to say, I want men to come to my bed. This is appealing to the male sexuality. Men want to be known. They want to know that there's some woman who is finds them sexually attractive. They want a woman to desire them. So there's nothing weird. This is normal sexual nature. Even the feminist talking wants men to find her sexually desirable, even though she hates them or doesn't like them at best. She still wants it. This is normal human behavior. And they're calling it weird characterization.
People who criticize feminists are getting it wrong. They should have paid extra attention to characterization because they tied up with Japan Tourism Agency as a regional revitalization project.
So that feminist writing, that's a nuanced opinion. So Utah, you think it's nuanced that men being told that they're desirable is weird? That's a nuanced opinion to you? I really despise this Utah guy.
Project. Comments like this gets a lot of upvotes. There are more than 100 onsen musume drawn by different artists. Each girl is different. You may find some of them too sexualized for the general
But the
public.
communities that were advertising to these guys didn't find them too sexualized. The government, the Japanese government that put their seal of approval on it, didn't find them too sexualized. It was meant for the public, the male public. And that's the issue this feminist has.
Other ones look pretty standard for an anime girl. But the controversy continues and there are so many crazy opinions that I don't want to share on YouTube.
Yeah, of course, this coward doesn't. Because if he shares them, you would be able to give your opinion. You would either back one or the other, because there's only two opinions to be had. And then he might have to make a stand. So he backs the feminist without having the courage to say he does. He's a coward, so he backs. Just a minute. Bends the knee. That's the word I'm thinking of. He's cowardly to the feminist, so he bends the knee, and he's doubly coward because he can't admit that that's what he's doing. This kind of moral cowardice makes me vomit. Anyway, this shows you just what kind of influence the average woman has in her society, and just how everybody's willing to just sacrifice everything about this. As soon as it's women against men as a sex, everyone just toes the line. It's too far down the line for me to be shocked anymore. But I know in the past I'd say it's shocking. Anyway, it's just goodbye, everybody.